How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the podcast. Good neighbors, we are back. I am your one half, Drizzy Dre.
I'm the other half, Lamont. Nice to see y'all.
How y'all doing today, man?
We back like a chiropractor.
Oh yes, we are. And it's funny because I just came back from getting X-rays done yesterday too, so that's crazy.
Yeah, and if y'all actually watched the video from what we did last time and explained how my brother came from a situation, accident. You know what I'm saying? God is good all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have been uglier, but he's still here, and we're here to show y'all that.
I appreciate y'all too.
Prayer.
Man. Thank you too, man, for appreciating.
Absolutely.
Man. No doubt, man. So we gonna get into this today, though, man. We're gonna be talking about growth in life, growth in an individual, growth in a marriage, relationship,
growth in individuality.
Yes, man. So, growth. First thing first, the definition of growth is something that has grown or is growing, which can be, a stubble in the chin hair.
That's
a little child growing.
Mm-hmm.
Animal growing from a pup to a full-grown animal.
Growth in your gardens, which I encourage everybody to start growing a garden.
Yes,
I'm not asking you to grow a field, but to start to grow something like maybe like tomatoes, maybe something like peppers, things like that. There's nothing like watching something that you have cultivated into something that is of full maturity. Not saying not your kids, because you know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But something that you actually put your hands in the soil and watching it grow and cultivate as a garden. I encourage, back in World War II, they had what they called victory gardens. And it was basically not only to help others, but to help themselves grow during a time of a depression. You know what I'm saying? So things like that and growth, not just yourself.
Oh yeah.
But to watch yourself cultivate something that you created.
And that's funny because even the other definition is the process of increasing in physical size. Which the definition of it, the example is an upward growth of plants.
Absolutely. See, I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying?
So that's perfect. You say that.
Start growing. Start growing. Plants. Start growing your vegetables. Start growing medicinal.
Start supporting this channel, please. Because in order for me to be able to grow this stuff, I need a home. So I would love to be able to do the same thing and get into that process of growing my own fruits and vegetables. My grandmother, she used to do all that stuff, man, and it was one of those things in the summertime where like she was cooking like greens, or we did the tomatoes with the salt and everything. That came off from her garden. What's that, squash and all that, man. So I know about the seeds, the 39 cents and all that.
It's crazy.
And it don't take much too.
Sometimes it's all about basically just taking care of it.
And once you get into the process of doing it and then finding passion into it and then taking care of it, that's when you start getting into those.
You respect it more.
Yeah,
we things that we do now that I won't say laughed at, but things that we do now that we watched our grandparents do, or great grandparents, for some of us that were blessed at least were able to have that and watch how they did that stuff. You know what I'm saying? We took that kind of for granted, and now it's like, oh shoot, I kind of see now why they did it. Canning and storing and things of that nature. Mason jars.
First, it was cheaper.
You know what I'm saying? It definitely was.
First, it was cheaper. And I mean, it actually still is if you have property and land to do that. It's still
even if you
cheaper
just got
than
property,
going to your. It's still cheaper than going to your grocery stores.
Absolutely.
And that's especially if you take pride in actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
Yourself.
So, you know what I'm saying? We have to also understand, because of the area that we live in. We live in a climate, in the northeastern area in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I won't say it's a hurry up thing, but it's more of a having to get it done, because you know that once the winter comes, you might want to have it on standby.
Yo, what's a good, I don't know, don't quote me on this one, but I do enjoy this vegetable though, squash. Is that something that grow all year round, winter and?
I put it like this. We tried to grow, what did we try to grow last year? We tried to grow pumpkins last year by mistake.
Is that I don't think that's an all year.
Bro, I'll put it like this. When I say that vine had a mind of its own.
Yeah.
And we had to basically kind of format it to grow the way we wanted to grow because the vine was so thick.
Mm-hmm.
It was a learning experience, and we're still learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying when it comes to growing things, but with the growth of that, it made you want to understand it a lot more. You wanted to kind of understand how it grew, what it took to help make it procreate a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's crazy, you know. You just think it's going to grow and that's it. But then once you just start to see how it grow and it starts to grow longer and longer and thicker and fuller, it's like, okay, now I have to take care of that plant. So now your mindset goes into, that's one of the first things you get into, because it's like, oh shoot, let me take care of it, because it has a mind of its own, so to speak.
Yeah.
So also,
and that's just like a human too.
Absolutely.
We all got minds of our own, man. That's go all over the place.
Yeah.
So do you got growth going on? Do you got something that you want to grow on?
I have a lot that I want to grow on.
Anything you want to touch bases on that you want the world to know? It don't got to be nothing personal. It can just be a little basic thing. Like
I have a lot to grow on, because we spoke about this before, because I have a lot of demons that I'm still facing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand those, and then when I come off and try to explain that to them, I seem a little awkward, because how I come about it basically. But it's not any kind of negativity towards them. It's just that I'm in a position of trying to not only grow myself and put myself in a position, then after I get myself in a position that I want to be, it's going to spread out to others.
Okay.
It's that product, and then it's the vines that come from it. Because you see the product and you know what it comes from, but you have to understand that there's vines that come from the product that continues to spread out. They don't see the spreading out of the issues or the problems. They just see the main aspect of the growth. So you know what I'm saying? You see, like I said before, you see the pumpkin, but you don't see the vines coming sporadically off the pumpkin.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to take care of those vines that's coming from the pumpkin.
Okay.
And I feel like taking care of those vines as well, because guess what? If you got a small backyard and you're growing that pumpkin, you have to remember those vines are going to go everywhere. They're going to go on the fences. They're going to go on your neighbor's property if you don't take care of them. So I see it as basically trying to cultivate everything all in that section, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, that was a lot to soak in, but yes, it do make sense.
I'm sorry.
No, but it do make sense though. It's the same thing with growth and development. That's something that I've been working on for a long time, and it worked the same way, where I've been learning everything on my own on a whim. So like you just said, if you don't take care of yourself, you start growing all over the place, right? And so with me not being able to have that understanding initially of staying in one lane and one time, I was all over the place, wanting to do this, wanting to do that.
So you were the vines.
I was the vines. Yeah. I was definitely the vines into my own growth. And then after, I get older, I start, like you just said, starting to take care of it every year. And it's funny because for me, I'm an age person where I don't look at age as old, but then when it comes to accomplishments, I feel like age kicks in.
Right.
Where it's
that makes sense. I understand that.
Where it's like, okay, I don't knock anybody that still stay with their parents, right? I understand the whole aspect of things happen. It's how you stay with your parents. That's the difference. I know I know people that stay with their parents and don't do anything. I know people that stay with their parents and try and do stuff. I know people that stayed with their parents and saved like $60,000 in a matter of 5 years, and they was in their 40s, you know. And when I looked at that, I was like, whoa. But then at the same time, if you got that type of relationship and understanding with yourself, growth. I think nothing wrong with that, right?
I understand that 100%, but also I believe that it basically turns into, you have to understand that aspect. If you know that you're doing that, you don't want to be.
You want to do it for a reason.
You want to do it for a reason. You don't want to be able. You good, baby. You don't want to be able to do it as you don't see it, and they may not say it. You don't want to see it as being an enabler.
Oh yeah, that
I know that the person is here doing this because of their situation, and I'm okay with them staying here and doing it. I might mention a couple of times of, hey, you might need to do this and take care of this, and you're enabling the person of whatever that situation may be.
Yeah, and that's where, for me,
wow,
it falls in.
This actually topic came.
No, for
actually,
real.
Yeah,
it's a good thing, man, because even this week, I realized, I want to grow so much further than where I want to be at now, and to attain that, I really know, and to go to that next stage, there's sacrifice, and I have to give up some things.
And
we're talking about, and it don't.
The reason
why it sucked for me is because I feel like, and this is the excuse where there should be no excuse, but I feel like that there's going to be some sort of withdrawal, and then you go back or you try and make an excuse to do whatever, this, that, and the third. But now at the same time, I actually understand I got a partner in crime that is doing the same thing that I'm doing, and that motivate the hell out of me.
I think
because I finally have something that matches my energy.
I think, and you know what? I think that goes for both of us, because there was a time where it's not a Lady and a Tramp kind of Disney movie, but
no,
you know, it finding someone that has the same drive as you, or sees something in you that you lost, that wants to push you.
Yep. You hit that on the money.
I think
that on the money.
Yeah, excuse me. I just felt it real quick. You know, spirit hit me real quick. Finding someone that has the same drive as you and wants to motivate you because you lost your motivation. And not everybody can give you that same motivation. It takes someone that you feel a correlation with that can help you. Especially when you haven't had that in a while, or you haven't seen it or accumulated from certain people in a while, and you just been moving and you just been going and just going with the motions.
Yep.
And have somebody to say, hey man, I see you making a pizza. I got pepperonis for that pizza. I'm just hitting you with this real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I got toppings for you.
Yo, let me give you those.
I got some.
Then after a sauce,
you ever tried this on there? You ever tried that on there? Yo, check this out. What the heck is this? Yo, this is a buffalo chicken finger pizza.
Hey,
I never had that before. What is this? This is what I'm giving you, because I see something that I know what you come with, and I add this.
But what you're missing is that's the return. Because you gave them those ingredients to make up this chicken pizza. And then once they made it, they done cut that joint in fours or in a half, and then gave it to you.
Or you made it and let you try made it, and you didn't have the rest of the ingredients. And somebody comes into your life and say, I know what you've been missing.
Yep.
Boom. Oh shoot, what is this? And I think that's what we're all missing
And it's
life.
in a good way though.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It could
absolutely.
Be, yo, because
guess what? See, we going crazy with this. You could have already had the pizza in the oven, and by the time you pull it out, you think it's all right. This is what it is, and then somebody come and say you should put this on top of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And then walk away and keep it moving.
So I think I think we're all in the need of somebody, some way, shape, or form to just give us a little bit of that oomph. Because guess what? You can quote this and you can make this a real. Triumph doesn't finish without the oomph.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you guys. Triumph, you have to have that oomph inside of it. And I think that's what we all need.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
And so I'm excited because friend mode, whatever you want to call it, is, even if not expecting it to stay in that lane, but just the beauty of it's in that lane, and I'm receiving this type of maturing and developing within myself, man.
Absolutely.
That make me be like, yo, I lost that edge, and I'm getting it back just off of
you have to have certain
somebody
people.
like, dang, you doing the same stuff I'm doing or did, and this, that, and the third, and
guess what? And somebody that tells you like, yo, man, I'm not only going through what you going. We see somebody that we talk to on a daily basis that will not give us the actual oomph that we need, and they're older than us and won't progress in that.
Yep.
And you be like, hey, can you give any kind of insight? Anything, maybe, anything. No, nothing, negative. And they're an elder or an OG for some. That's why I say less OGs and more elders. Because you could be an OG all day and still don't give us the information that we need.
Yeah.
And then once the youngsters start speaking on growth and energy and promoting, they have nothing to say and will walk away. So what does that do
You know what they say? We are elders, so, and I'm sick of people making these excuses in life. Just because you are elder, you a mom, you a dad, that these is things that all of a sudden we gotta abide by. Nope.
Because guess what? You could have been taught the wrong thing the whole time.
Yep. 100% that way.
And expecting us to follow your lost dichotomy.
So.
And then once we find out the truth, and then we try to spit that truth back to you, we may seem like we're in the wrong or in the middle.
But I do like the elders though that be like, man, y'all got it a lot easier than us. Which, okay, granted, whatever, that maybe not be true.
Or maybe it is true.
But then I love y'all drive that push y'all to make it that way though. That's what I love to hear. I hate to hear that whole, man, when we had to come up, like, yo, we ain't in them times no more, man. And then it's crazy because you not even in them times no more, and you blessed to be in the times of now.
And you can still
for real, yo.
And you can still grow.
So I love to keep maturing every single day as a person and human being. Like, I got a personal question that I gotta ask myself, and it's tough. And because I gotta figure out the next level of my life. So we as humans, man, personal growth is a lesson of it's a valuable life lesson, and it's your choice to choose to grow and mature and develop in it, or just fall flat.
And I learned that not a lot of people, and I was explaining this to old girl or whatever. I was like, yo, sad thing is some people gonna get left by the wayside. Sad to say this, and people might not like it. Some people are going to have to die out
in order to reach your potential.
So people gonna have to die out. It might sound harsh, and it might sound aggressive, but
Not everybody get that LeBron James story where your friends came with you all the way from high school.
But guess what?
It's just it's
but
possible.
But it is. But guess what? You have to understand. If we don't like you, okay, you said that, right? Now you tell me how many of those people are that are at the applicable level of LeBron. They didn't make it.
Oh yeah.
They didn't get to that point. You might have
knew their position though.
But guess what? I'm as good as you because there's a guy. If you look it up, there's a guy that was just about as good as LeBron that he played with. They didn't have his eye on him. Just as good as LeBron.
But I'm talking about the people that like his friends, like the dude that's dating Adele and.
No.
I'm talking about them.
No, because guess what? Those dudes are basically picked and put in positions where they're able to have that kind of.
Even still, they friends though.
You can be my friend, but guess what?
But those is friends from the beginning though.
The nepotism, and if you Google, encourage you guys to look up the word nepotism. With that comes with a lot, because guess what? There are people that have that they have that with them, where they're able to grow because of. I only made it because guess what? My dad is so and so. I've made it this far because my mom is so and so. My uncle is so and so. My aunt is so and so. It's been happening for years. We can go with Tupac. We can go with the person that used to rap with Tupac. Let me bring that back. It goes a lot. Nepotism. And it goes in industry. It goes in politics. It goes into educational system of certain hierarchies and everything. It plays a major part. And it goes with, if we like you, we'll let you grow. Hey, look, it's Oprah. Who the hell is Gayle King? Oh, Gayle King is friends with Oprah for whatever reason they may be. People garner these positions for a certain reason because of nepotism. Because a lot of you guys won't make it without nepotism. Some of you guys in the industry won't make it because of nepotism. Some of you politicians won't make it because of nepotism, especially in the entertainment industry. So, with that being said, you hear a lot of people say, man, I grew up in this, I did that. Okay, let's check your background. Oh, you had this person that backed you. Is it because of you? And is it because of your grind? Or did you have that oomph, as I said earlier? And that's what a lot of it is in the industry. And this goes all the way back to, like I told you before, the 60s counterculture, which was created by the Tavistock Institute. Jim Morrison, who was your father? Jim Morrison's father was Rear Admiral Morrison, who I met in Coronado, San Diego. Mamas and the Papas, military. Frank Zappa. All these people were ingrained in a certain aspect randomly to create this counterculture. And there was a bunch of people that was around our area that got famous. No, not only just famous, but got big. You probably be like, oh, that's random. Well, they all came from that area. But now let's go back and see who they all belong to. Military counterintelligence. Person that parent was a part of an alphabet family. And it was like that the whole counterculture. But then you actually find out a lot of these people, parents, not even the parents, but them, really couldn't play instruments. So wait a minute. So how did you guys create this unless it was derived and created for a reason? And that's the nepotism that we see involved in the entertainment industry. That's just the entertainment industry, politics, etc. Should it stop your growth? No, because you can break away from that. Because once you realize that it was given to me, because there's a lot of people in the industry that realized that and broke away, and you see them like, hey, Johnny blah blah, is now living in a farm in Wisconsin. He had it all, but seen him and realized that it came with a lot. And you find them and you ask them.
Because I was just about to say that. So just because you relatives with that person and everything, don't mean that you can actually do the job. But
no, but it all depends on the position it depends on how much they want to push you.
Depending on the position,
it depends on the thing.
If you don't know the job, you don't know the job. Like, you gotta go, I would assume.
No, because you have to understand, you may not know the job, but I bet you I can pay somebody to find out how to make you get that job and cultivate your craft and to make you be what we want you to be. Will you pass the test of continuing, or will you just be that C-list monetary person? Because you gotta remember, there's a bunch of people that had it and didn't pass the test. But guess what? That brother didn't pass the test. That sister didn't pass the test. That nephew and that niece might pass the test. Because we have to understand, these kind of people don't think on short-term goals. They think on long-term goals.
But I'm thinking about the ones that's non-nepotized.
Oh no,
the ones that actually work with you, work to understand where you coming from, where you going, where they going, where they places at.
No, but
I'm thinking more.
It's funny you said that, because mentally I just thought of two people in my head that you had told me that were related that I didn't know that was related. We ain't gonna say the names. You told me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The fact is, I got them in there. So whatever now I got you in there. It's up to you to create what I put you in for. You got one person that's just there.
Okay.
Then you have another person that is moving up slowly that they put in there that we like, and I'll just say Leo.
Okay. I'm really lost on this.
So
this one.
You lost on this one?
I know. I'll find out later on though.
You will. But you had told me. But I'll put you in that position, and it's just about where you decide to go with it. If it's worth pushing, if we want to push you there, depending on the situation.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, some people gonna just get left behind then.
Absolutely. There's a chunky one, and then it's a chunky one. It's a chunky relative. And then there's the other one that look like Leo. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah.
Now you get it?
Yeah.
Now both of the names, do both of them come to mind now?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's okay. I see what you mean on that one, yeah. Big difference. I see what you mean by that one, yeah. Yeah. I had to think about it for a second. I
had to say it without trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Like, what? Like, but I see, okay, so that is a good example for that. That's crazy.
Now you see it mentally, right?
Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Sorry about that.
For one, but not for the other. I definitely see that.
Well, for one, I got you in. For the other one, I got you in. Now it depends on what I want. It depends on how much you progress into me getting you there. And one is outshining the other, is what I'm saying. Not outshining. Different positions where we actually want you to be.
Yeah, but that was based on that one person was based on them, not based on him.
Yeah, but you see, it's a difference. It's
getting in, yes.
But yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but
that position was earned based on him as an individual.
But would you have got that position if it wasn't for the nepotism? Because I had to get you in the first place, correct?
I mean, I guess that's a tough spot to be put in. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't even want to really be put in that spot.
I would not,
because I would want to be shown for my work and for who I am versus who I'm around or who I'm known to be with.
Right.
That's kind of interesting. That because now I didn't even think about it on that part.
On that nepotism side of it.
That side of it, yeah. Because you can actually be doing that to somebody and not know it, and then also at the same time, because as we talked about it, I just sat there and was listening and said, "Damn, it's possible I've done that before in my life." You know what I'm saying?
I think we all have had.
Bringing people.
We've all had that. Certain people have all had that position, but I think it's more of the fact of the higher the position that you are put in, that you are more exposed.
But you know what's funny? I've been there. I've been on both sides of that. Now that I think about it, that's what makes that even funnier, because as we even talk about nepotism and podcasting, there's been multiple opportunities, with other people, with myself, that I chose not to do it with. And then I end up choosing to decide to do it with you based on our relationship and everything like that. But then that's where I find it funny, because I realize now it's like, I was being part of the nepotism club, bringing people along based on who they were around for me, the years I've been with them and stuff like that. But then once it became more business structure for me, I realized that is not the way to go, because you cannot, if a certain person don't understand the job, you can't hire them for that job. And I'm not going to force. Not just because I'm
trying to bring them in because of I'm Dre, and this is my blah blah blah, and I need a job. Well, what is his qualification?
It's crazy.
Is his qualification
That's crazy.
Pretty decent, But that's what we're basically going into of growth.
But
in a nutshell, we gotta keep continuing
to grow as an individual. And that way you don't get stuck into that whole nepotism field, because
it doesn't help you at all, because once you get the job, it's either you're going to grow from it, or you're going to sit there and kind of use that to your advantage,
and
especially depending on who the person is. No, you shouldn't.
Background. No, I don't want that in the background.
Because guess what? We seen it in like old cartoons. Do you know who my father is? Do you know who my uncle is? He's in charge of this company.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and you're just riding the coattails. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. But see, that's why I believe in hard work, man. Pays off. Hard work pays off, man. And as an individual, it's times where you got to mature and grow to get to that next level. And without maturity, man, I think that there's no growth. There's no growth at all.
It might not be.
You gotta have some sort of maturity.
It might not be the growth of what others want from you.
Dang, that nepotism, you jacked me up with that one.
It might not be the growth that you want, that others see. Your growth is different from what other people see in your growth. They might be upset with you. They might be very aggressive towards you in your growth, and they know what they see of you, but they don't know what you go through on an individual basis, on a daily basis, on an internal basis, and they don't understand that. And because they don't understand that, they may look at you a certain way, and you have to understand that your growth, your individuality. It's not that I am upset from the foundation that you have given me, but guess what? I have to create the walls. I have to create the structure. I have to create the roof of the rest of my growth. I appreciate the foundation that you've given me, but at the same time, I have to create my own mansion.
That's interesting, man. Definitely.
My fault.
On what? Yo, this has gotten so dang going deep, man. Just growth and jobs, nepotism, improvement. Yo, you learn a lot every single day, man. And even just the whole growth thing, and then getting into, and I say that because as I'm growing and maturing and starting to get into these levels of life, these are things that I actually need to understand also. You know, bringing people with me wanting to bring people with me. Is it because of the hard work, or is it because these people just is family members, or is it because we're friends for a long time, or is it because
we want people to grind with us?
That is crazy.
And we
man.
want people to grind with us, and as much as we want them to grind with us, they don't have the same drive that we have.
And then once you get there, you bring them along, and then they like, thank you. And you know, however it happened.
You're right. And then I'm like, okay, so
that's freaking nepotism, man.
I got you here. So what is your next plan? Are you going to progress from what I brung you into, or are you just going to sit and be stagnant?
But it's still nepotism.
It is. But guess what? Are you going to grow from it?
I don't want to.
Or are you going to be stagnant?
Dang, that's crazy, yo. Because now in the back of my head, I don't know if I even want you to be in that position just because you a relative versus you not even working an inch towards it. Now, if you working an inch towards it, that's different. I feel like
no, because
that's not a. But if you just sat back and just
we've been
waited,
in positions where we put people in there
but if
because
you just
we know that they needed it, and they still shit on you.
Yeah, but if you
I got you where you need to be, and you didn't progress like you wanted to for whatever reason.
I don't even know people out. I'm gonna try to as much as possible.
I got you what you needed, but you didn't pursue it. So then when people come and tell me like, yo, we can't do it with so and so no more, then I'm like this. I know what you need, and you still banged on me. Like, what are we doing? I don't know.
And then it's crazy because as you try and bring people along and it don't work and it backfire, you get decline, you feel failure, stagnation.
Now you looking at me. Now if somebody actually needs something and I know that they need something, now they're looking at me differently because of I try to use the nepotism of bringing that person in that I know that actually needed it. Like yo, you know, I got, and they look at it, we'll let you know.
Underdevelopment, that's
comfortability, man.
To be continued, man. This is
continued.
This is interesting. This is an interesting topic, man.
So we will give you a part 2 real soon.
This is an interesting topic.
So, on that note,
because we can talk about this all day.
We sure can. But we won't. So, we'll see you next time. I'm Lamont.
I'm Dre, man. Y'all have a good one. Good neighbors. Peace out.